What's going on, y'all? Fort Worth Fabian. We are back with a video, man. We're doing a reaction to UFO disclosure movement and new attention from media and government. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below.
End of the... And please make sure you keep an eye out for one of News Nation's own, Jessica Catalia. She appears as a news anchor towards the end of the film. She got to spend time on set. She met scriptwriter David Cope, director Steven Spielberg, and she says both of them were a dream to work with.
It was incredible. First of all, he could not have been nicer. He came in and I was sitting there along with my co-anchor in the movie, and he explained what was going on, but he couldn't give too much away. And so he said, look, you're sitting on the desk, there's breaking news, there's aliens coming in, and you're trying to explain what's going on. And I said, okay, well, you know, as a news anchor, we'd be taking notes and our producer would be talking in our ear. And he goes, yeah, do that. Great. So it was great. It was a lot of fun. Yes, we made the cut, so I am in there. Don't blink, it's very quick, but it was an awesome experience. I think the movie is phenomenal. I think everybody will find something that they love about it. I think especially right now, it's incredibly timely, and I'm so excited to have had the experience of working with Spielberg and David Kopp, and it was really a dream come true. It was the right place at the right time, and it was just awesome.
My interview with UFO whistleblower David.
Hold on, this is that movie that they're referring to that's just come out, right? I forgot what it's called. I want to say Disclosure Day, right? This is probably, Spielberg directed sci-fi film starring Emily Blunt, centered on worldwide recognition of aliens. So I guess they got this news anchor to shoot a segment for the film. But I mean, this is what's going on today, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I think it's been inspired by, you know, the course of events that's probably happened over the past year or so, to where probably 2 years or so, to where people are very straightforward, very open about UFO sightings, and even people who have worked for the government are spilling the beans about what's going on behind the scenes, basically alluding to this is all real, this is all factual. The government is hiding all this stuff, obviously, to put society/humanity at ease and not have everybody in an uproar. But let's see what else they got to say about this.
Grush for News Nation catapulted the conversation forward in 2023.
You are one of the most trusted former intelligence officials in the US defense and intelligence establishment.
Yes, I was.
You were trusted with the most intimate secrets.
Yes.
But before we
That
move
boy
to
snitched.
modern day, let's zero in on the point in time when David Grush says the US government first became aware of non-human intelligence, NHI, interacting with this planet.
So let's start from the very beginning. You say it's a 90-year cover-up.
Just about, yeah.
90 years.
1933 was the first recovery in Europe, in Magenta, Italy. They recovered a partially intact vehicle.
It's long been known that the regime of dictator Benito Mussolini documented numerous UAP during this time. This internal memo from the Italian Secret Services includes crude drawings of the UAPs.
It's true. It's real.
Yeah, that actually happened. The Italian government moved it to a secure air base in Italy for the rest of kind of the fascist regime until 1944, 1945. And, you know, the Pope Pius XII back-channeled that.
So the Vatican was involved.
Yeah, and told the Americans what the Italians had, and we ended up scooping it.
After my conversation with David Grush, a News Nation producer travelled to Italy and investigated his claims.
I wonder if anyone has even gone through everything to see if there is something in writing related to UAPs from that time period.
Brian, I'm sure there's a long line of historians and scholars who want to get into those archives and actually dig through.
A colleague also spoke.
I don't know why this is news or why people are so skeptical. I mean, people have talked about these kind of stories, like he said, past 90 years. This has been a reoccurring thing, but people are still questioning the validity behind it. Now, whatever you want to believe it is or believe it isn't, that's one thing. But to say that this isn't going on, come on, man. Come on. I mean, Area 51 is always the reference point. You know, it's just like there's too much he say, she say about it. There's too much hearsay. So at this point, believe that there is something that they're hiding. It shouldn't be like, we need to comb through the records. Is this true? Man, we're in 2026. At this point in time, movies, you know, sightings, whether you want to call it AI, fake, and there's a lot of sightings way before AI even came into the picture, right? People with video recordings. Now, a lot of it, there's a big majority that it's fake, right? I mean, a big portion that's fake in terms of people wanting to go viral for clicks and views. But, you know, I think there are things that we just can't comprehend or understand. Now, like I said, what you believe that is, that's up to you to kind of discern. But we have new findings where people are coming out saying that aliens are demons, and, you know, pretty much they're calling it every which thing. So,
with representatives from the Vatican about claims of UFO proof in their archives. A Vatican source with access to the archive did a search on behalf of News Nation and says they found no listed reference or mention to the alleged incident in Magenta or any communication of it to the Pope, according to Vatican archive records. So it seems the Church's official party line, nothing to see here.
I thought, you know, the seminal event was, you know, like, I guess Roswell in 47, sure. And turns out there were real things that happened prior to that.
Well, speaking of Roswell, what can you tell me about the Roswell craft?
Fortunately, those details were not approved for me to talk about right now.
This much we know. In 1947, an object crashed in the New Mexico desert near the town of Roswell. The Air Force recovered material described as metallic and rubbery, though the government changed its story as to what it was, calling it a flying disc at first, then a weather or spy balloon. A group of Americans who definitely had something to say about what they saw, NASA astronauts.
This is Houston. Say again, 7? Is that the booster or is that an actual sighting? Say again, 7?
Boy, cut out.
As part of the Pentagon's 2026 release of UFO files, included are recordings and witness statements from NASA's Apollo 12, Apollo 17 and Gemini 7 missions, during which astronauts described unbelievable anomalous encounters in space. The files even include pictures showing strange lights in space.
Now, what's my take on Disclosure Day? Steven Spielberg is a masterful storyteller. I loved the way it brought in psionics, it brought in the risks of catastrophic disclosure. I loved Colin Firth as a villain. He's a great villain. And I loved, ultimately, the ending, the finale. And I'm not going to tell you what happens, because all of you...
Bro's over here spilling all the beans, man. Wait till we see the movie, my guy. So, me personally, alien movies... they're alien movies. Now, is this one going to be set apart? Who knows? Disclosure Day, Independence Day all over again, maybe. You know what I mean? But I'll probably wait till this comes to streaming. I don't know if this is worth going to the theaters for, but when it comes to extraterrestrial stuff on the big screen, me personally, I'm like, what else can y'all recreate? What else is new at this point in time? There's so many alien movies that, and some of them are very catastrophic, that at this point, what can y'all one up with?
You should go and see it. It's a beautiful film. It's profoundly moving. I'm not going to deny I had a little tear in my eye at the end of the film because I cared passionately about the message that it delivered. And the message that it delivered is that the public have a right to know that we are not alone. It's a very simple message. And at the moment, Steven Spielberg has crafted it beautifully in fiction. What now needs to happen is government President Trump and every other political leader that's aware of this dirty secret, they need to tell you, the public, the full truth.
Nah, I mean, this is the thing with people. They always talk about how they, let me know the truth, let me know the truth. As soon as they know the truth, they can't handle the truth. It's like people always want access to things. They want information, but they're not stable enough to internalize or handle the information. We've seen it all throughout history, man. Like, it's just people who want to be nosy. Tell me, what are you going to do with that information? Do you work in the CIA? Are you a government operative? Like, you have no type of pull to do anything with that information. All that information is going to do is make you worry, put everybody in an uproar, have people just talking about semantics. It's just like, what are you talking about, man? You know, it's like people, we have a right to know. We just want to feel good. We want to be on. Like, what are you going to do with that information? If anything, it's going to cause more chaos. I just don't get people. We want to know. It's just people just being nosy. People being nosy for no reason. Because imagine, society understands that aliens exist. Then what? Is that going to change your day-to-day? Is that going to increase your income or pay? Is that going to dictate where you relocate to or where you live? Maybe. I don't know. But it makes zero sense to me. Like, there's so much information that it's the powers that be, so to speak, that it's best to not know, right? It's kind of like a child. Do parents always tell their children everything? No, because it's for their greater good. The same in controlling a society. And, oh my God, he used the word controlling. The same in having a operating functional society. You don't want people just having information so they can, I don't know, run wild like chickens with their head cut off. Lunacy.
It's not about little green men or flying saucers. It's about what are we spending all these millions and possibly billions of dollars on that these idiots tell us don't exist. And then yet we turn right around in the skip and then they tell us they do exist. This is a cover-up. You all know it. We know it. We demand the answers, and dadgummit, we're going to get them.
All right, that's a good point. But guess what? We're still going to be spending millions of dollars on resources for things or certain things that we have no insight into. You know what I mean? If you're talking about from a taxpayer's perspective, like, I mean, he made a valid point, but at the end of the day, you know how many different things that us as taxpayers are contributing to that we have no line of sight into?
Days after a demand for disclosure on the steps of the U.S. Capitol, a third batch of UFO files released. The 72 files unsealed Friday are giving you insight into the government's investigation into the extraterrestrial. Let's take a look at a few of those videos. Here's one from an eyewitness. They captured the video with an iPhone 14 Pro Max last July. You see those two bright orbs appearing to move in tandem in the northeast sky? Another from the northeast shows a plasma-like orb. See it? Hovering above a pond. This one also taken from an iPhone. It was also authenticated by the government. On top of this, there's also new audio from a 1962 interview between journalist Walter Cronkite and astronaut Gordon Cooper, where he claims a large number of, quote, exceptionally well-qualified people have seen objects without a logical explanation. Let's hear a very short clip on that.
But I think that there are so many possibilities, so many thousands of possibilities of other planets out somewhere in the universe that would have a livable atmosphere that I would hate to rule out the possibility that maybe there are people or some type of human life on some of these. And if this is the case, then it's not too unfeasible to think that perhaps some of these objects might have been something of this type.
For more, we're joined by Jordan Flowers, Executive Director of the UAP Disclosure Foundation, who was also at the Capitol Hill presser just a few days ago. Thank you so much for coming on tonight, Jordan. Listening to that Gordon Cooper interview and what he said years ago. But let's fast forward. What are your thoughts on this third batch of UFO files? Actual disclosure or just a very slow drip of a mystery that people just want to know more about?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me tonight. I really appreciate it. It has really been a big week for this topic. There was the press conference on Capitol Hill. There was the release of Steven Spielberg's movie recently, and a few other updates. We've had this sort of bi-weekly cadence of releases from the president's initiative around this. I think the key takeaway here is that there really is a solid push, and this is a high priority topic for this administration. They have released, and I think for your audience, it's important to know that they've released items that indicate that not only has the Air Force been taking this issue extremely seriously since 1948, at least, despite their claims, but also that today, the Director of National Intelligence Office and the FBI have multiple investigations going on about this topic. So some of the reports that were issued in the prior release also describe senior intelligence officials seeing similar orbs, like you've shown tonight, similar instances of those happening at our most sensitive military facilities in the United States. So we really need to get a handle quickly on what's happening here.
Now that so many files have been made public, Jordan, is there a specific video or file that's standing out to you that normal human beings should check out?
I think one file that was called to attention by Dave Grush, a 1971 formerly classified intelligence write-up from an Australian. That document outlines sort of the history of this topic. I think that's extremely interesting. So the picture of David Grush there, that's when he described this effort. And with this release, there was a 1948 memo from, I believe it was the Chief of Naval Operations, trying to speak with the Air Force about this topic and indicating that they were having an influx of these sightings. And so this is not... there's real data behind this.
So me personally, I think my 2 cents is just people being nosy, wanting to have insight into things that they'll have no real power or understanding over, right? So I think it's common that people naturally worry about the wrong things. How is this going to contribute to, any fruitfulness in your life or, the change of pace? From a taxpayer's perspective, we get it. But it just seems like when we have these kind of conversations, it's just about individuals complaining and wanting more access to things or wanting things to be a different way. But the government has the final say so on a lot of these talking points. So at the end of the day, I really don't think it's beneficial to ponder, so to speak. You know what I mean? It's just a waste of time. And this is just being focused on things of the world. You know what I mean? Me, I don't really get in an uproar or really get fearful or question or wonder too much about things that are, from a chaotic perspective is what I'm saying. Oh my God, there's a new virus that's coming out. Like, oh, are UFOs going to? Because I know who I have my trust and solidarity in, and that's the Lord. So I think the worldly matters are passing away, but I think this is just a distraction. We live in the era and the age of distraction to where it's just countless things that are being presented to us for us to think about certain things, buy into certain narratives. Obviously, the media is pushing a certain front. And for what? So you can twiddle your thumbs, basically. We got doom scrolling, people just scrolling through things and looking at certain headlines and, viral or trending headlines that don't contribute any positivity or fruitfulness to their life. So me, I've checked out a lot in terms of paying attention to what the news is presenting, even from a political perspective. Of course, it's good to be in understanding or to have knowledge or a line of sight into what's currently going on in the world. But to make this the main focus of my day-to-day and my thoughts, are they going to release the details to the Epstein files? Like, we know that there's real things that go on in the world, but where are you choosing to prioritize your time? What is actually bringing you value, you and your family and your loved ones value? You know what I mean? It's good to know certain things, but at that point, how are you moving the needle? If it's not applicable, then it's irrelevant to me. So comment down below, man. Let me know y'all styles. Peace, love, prosperity. God bless everybody. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. And we'll see y'all in the next video.